guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naya. This is Chilling with Naya FSC. Today's video is going to be about how to decipher your dreams. Yeah, so let's hop right into it, right? Water break. So our dreams are very, very, very powerful. They can really help you navigate your life a lot. They can be ways to get messages from your guides, your ancestors, you know, God, the divine, you know, whatever you want to call the higher power. But yeah, your spirit team, to be honest with you. They can reveal a lot of things. They can reveal warnings. They can reveal things that you need to look into when it comes to yourself and self-work that you have to do. They can give you prophecies. They can give you messages about just about a lot of shit, to be honest, but you have to pay attention to them. And you have to honestly write them down so you can remember them, of course. You can get a notebook and you can get a pen and put it under your pillow. So when you wake up in the morning, you can just write it down so you don't forget. You can use your notes in your phone and use it like that. But always write your dreams down, okay? When it comes to dreams, every single detail is important when it comes to your dreams. Sometimes, let me start right here. Sometimes you're going to have dreams that are just fluff, okay? Some dreams is just fucking fluff. Like, I had a dream about Batman and Joker the other day. Girl, what? I know I wrote it down, but it's like, girl, I know I ain't gonna never use that shit again or never need that shit again. But it's just some shit like that you know, you gotta know when, like, what to ignore and you know, what's the message. And the more that you get into deciphering things, you know what's the message for you, right? But yeah, every single detail is important when it comes to your dream. So when it comes to the animals, when it comes to the environment. So let's say the environment, for example, is it, you know, flooding? Is it like, are things blowing up? Is it a thunderstorm? What else? Is it really sunny out and you sitting outside or something like that? Is it a typhoon? Like, what is happening around you? Because that can mean something. Okay, like it was a dream that I had where it was like things blowing up, right? I looked up the meaning today and it means like a lot of things, a lot of hidden, it's like a lot of tension, I guess you could say. Tension, animosity, change, and feelings. So whatever, it's like you have to kind of put that meaning, what I'm trying to say, fuck, slow down, Nice, slow down. It's like sometimes you have to like read between the lines, and then this is when your intuition really comes in hand. So it's like, who was in the dream? What was happening? What was going on? What's the history in like the real world, right? Because if something happened, like let's say bombing going on, or it's not bombing, girl, like earthquakes or things crumbling, there's like destruction, and you with somebody who has a lot of hidden resentment towards you, that goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? They chasing after you, something like that. That goes hand in hand, you know? So you gotta really pay attention to what's happening in the real world, in the waking world, right? And what's happening in the 5D. You're gonna hear me say those terms interchangeably. I say 5D, I mean the dream world, you know, the spirit space, because that's where our ancestors, our guides, that's where God, you know, the divine, daddies, angels, that's where they all are in the 5D. And we have the 3D, which is our world, right? So yeah. The next thing I'll say is pay attention to how you feel when something happens. So when somebody comes up to talk to you, to give you a message, how do you feel when you receive that message? Do you feel like, I'm suspicious? I don't know what's going on with you. 9 times out of 10, that shit ain't for you. If you feel comforted, if you feel secure in that, if you feel like, okay, I'm listening for real, then it's a message for you that you need to hear. Or if somebody is acting a certain way for you, but in your dream space, you feel like, damn, I don't trust that. Then 9 times out of 10, that person is a snake, you know? Or if you get a dream where it's like, what I'm trying to say, where it's like somebody is acting one way, but you know they feel a different way, like maybe they smitten on you, you know, then that's how they feel in the waking life. So how people feel, how you feel when you are around somebody or how you are around something is how it really is in the 3D. You know? I hope that made sense. Fuck. So yeah, like that's kind of that's true. I mean, that's key to like understanding like the 3D message or the 3D fuck of how it is in the 3D. Jesus, Naya, get it together. So yeah, I don't really hope that made sense. So when it comes to objects and animals, right? When it comes to, let's say animals, for example, when it comes to animals, pay attention to every single detail. How is this animal moving? How do you feel around this animal? What's the color? What I'm trying to say? What type of animal is it? It's like we gotta pay attention to all of those things. So like, let's say you see a snake in your dream, right? Snakes can be signs of transformation. Snakes can also be signs of people, an enemy that is around you, right? So if a snake is around you and it's just like, it's just chilling around you sometimes, and it ain't trying to attack you, it ain't doing nothing, you know, and it's like maybe in the waking world, the 3D world, you're really going through a transformative time. Like you just had a whole bunch of shit happen and you feel like a lot of change is happening in your life. That's a sign that, okay, this is a symbol for transformation. If a snake is just trying to attack you, if a snake is chasing after you, if you get bit by one, like things like that, you have an enemy that is around you. Okay, you have bad people. You know, people may be people may be talking down on you. Yeah, people are just snakes. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta pay attention to that. If you have a snake around somebody else and it's like attacking them, this can be really different for different people. But sometimes if it's attacking them, then that means that that's the enemy, that's the person who is the op. But if you're close, what I'm trying to say, I don't know, it's different for different animals. But yeah, you just gotta pay attention to what's going on with it. Sometimes the snakes may be just slithering around certain people. That's your op. Okay? Okay. You know, what's the size of the animal that's happening, right? So this one time I had a dream about this little baby crocodile chasing after me. This motherfucker was relentless. Girl, I'm I'm getting triggered thinking about it. This motherfucker was relentless. It was chasing after me. It was biting me and shit. And then somebody in my dream just simply picked it up and flipped it on his back. That simple. I looked up the meaning of that. A baby alligator chasing you and doing something that means that you are overwhelming yourself about problems that are this small, right? And that's exactly what was happening in my waking life in the 3D. So it's like just shit like that. You have to pay attention to every single detail, okay? When it comes to objects in your dreams, and it's like if you see a certain feather, like let's say you walk in and you see this, like it could be a white feather right there, right? You know, you have to remember like what the color of it was, you know, if it was any like maybe special things on it, you know what I'm saying? Look up that meaning, okay? It could be something really simple that you just linger on in your dream and you're like, damn, what was that? Write that shit down, then look it up. It could be a sign from your spiritual team that they want you to get that object, or it could be a message about that object. So like, let's say you had a crystal that came in your dream that you saw and you just picked it up and you touched it, but you don't know the name of it, and you like 3D world, right? So you write that, what it looked like, you write the color of it down, you write down the size of it, everything, and then you type it in. So let's say for this example, it's citron, but you don't know it's citron. You type that in, and citron is all about the solar plexus. Solar plexus deals with our confidence. It deals with our self-worth. It deals with, you know, trusting your gut and, you know, our happiness in a sense. And so that may be a sign from your spirit team that you need to get that crystal because you need more help with your confidence. You need to, you know, trust yourself a lot more, trust your gut feelings. You know, you need a lot more joy in your life. You feel me? and you need to express yourself better. Like it's just our solar plexus is about our personality in a sense. So you gotta, maybe it's like having more confidence to put yourself out there to really show who you really are, things of that nature. And that may be something that you may be struggling with in the 3D, and your spirit team sees that, so they send you a message in the 5D. You need to get that crystal. It's something like that. So make sure that you write down every single detail. So to spin the bliss back on animals that you see. So for me, when it comes to anything that I'm like looking up on Google, or when it comes to animals in particular, I usually just type in that animal and symbolism, or I usually go to spirit animal .info to get some more information, and then I type up symbolism, and sometimes I just type up that animal, what it means in a dream, and I look up like different scenarios or different situations. I really just trust my intuition when it comes to the website. If something just don't feel right to me, like that can't be it. That's not like really what I felt in that like the dream space, you know what I mean? I just find something else that makes sense to that dream, and I haven't been told I'm wrong. So so you just really have to trust your intuition, okay? So when it comes to like, let's say, when it comes to open wounds in your dream, so like, let's say for example, you are put in a space where like just a body part just is open, like you can see the insides and everything, and pay attention to where it was on your body, because that can be a sign that you need to do more work on that associated chakra. Okay, so for example, if it was your, your chest, heart work. If it was your gut, solar plexus. If it was around your like around your private area, your sacral. If it was around your tailbone, your root, and so forth and so forth. Like I just said, it just goes to the chakra that's attached to it sometimes. I feel like I already covered this, but I'll talk about it just to, speak on it a little more. But pay attention to how you feel. Your emotions can give you a lot more info on the dream that's coming up. For example, I had this one animal come up to me in my dream. I was scared as fuck. Like, I was scared as fuck in the dream. But it started doing things that showed me that I shouldn't be scared of it. Whole time it's my fucking spirit animal, and I calmed down. So that really showed me like, okay, I'm tripping. This is a loving energy that's being presented here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so sometimes you just gotta pay attention to what's going on, and pay attention to the body language at times, to your body language in certain scenarios, and then that person or that animal's body language as well. Okay, and in the dream, if you calm down, it's like how I calmed down. I knew, and when I woke up, like, okay, that was the homie, not the op. So when it comes to body language from people, it was like I was talking about earlier. Are they just like moving funny, and you picking up on like, damn, they just not right. They could be saying one thing, but their body language, they may be fidgeting, they may be doing this and that, like looking like left and right and all of that. They're lying. They're lying about something. Something is fishy. You know what I'm saying? Or their language, their mouth may be saying something, but their language may be like, their body language may be like, damn, I'm feeling you. Something like that. You got to just read between the lines on that, because that can give you a little more. When it comes to prophecies or predictions that can come to you, this part is where, okay, you have to just write it down and just let it play out. Sometimes it can be years. It can be years later that prophecy happens. Sometimes it can be a day later, a week later, a month later, a couple months later, a year later, years later, etc., etc. So just write it down and just come back to it. I'll put the article in here if I can find it, to pick up it, and then the link in the description if I can find it, and if I remember, or you can look it up by yourself. But it was this one woman who had dreamed that her brother had discovered gold. Come to find out, a couple days later, he won a lottery. He won like Mega Millions or something. So that's what I mean. Like, you can get signs of that, of like symbolism of winning money. It can be like gold, receiving a big fat check. It's like just things like that, giving somebody money. Like, it Spirit is really creative in how they will bring a message to you. So always remember that it might play out differently in the waking world, in the 3D. So now when it comes to the type of messages that you can receive, I touched on this a little bit earlier, but you can receive messages about yourself when it comes to the inner work that you have to do, when it comes to something that you're avoiding, and when it comes to something that your spirit team just feel like, hey, let's talk about this. They will bring that up and you will see things like that. It could be somebody telling you like, damn, you're like this. Or it could be very, very plain and your spirit team just saying, hey, work on this. Or it could be you coming to that realization in your dream. And when you wake up, you're like, damn, I do that. I got to talk about this. So for me, for example, I had a dream where somebody told me like, yeah, Naya, you act like this. You know, you're this type. You know, you do this. You're this type of person. And I'm like, when I woke up, I'm like, damn, nigga, do I do that? Yeah, I do. And I had to be real with myself. Like, I got to be better. And it'd be times where it's like spirit was just telling me like, let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? Don't run from it, because that's how you heal. So messages can sometimes be for you, can be for your family, friends, or for the collective. So you'll know when a message is just for you because it'll just only pertain to your situation, to what you have going on. It'll resonate deeply in your spirit. A message can be for family. That's pretty self-explanatory. Either you talking to them and something comes up and you find something out, it can happen like that. The ancestors will show you what's going on in their life, because sometimes I like to do that. They will show you what's going on in a family member's life just to be like, hey, we're around, we're watching everybody. You feel me? That has happened to me so many times where I found out something and then I told the person that it happened. They was like, ha, okay. They was scared as fuck. You know, it was so funny. But like I was just saying, like, it just goes to show the ancestors be watching us, and it's from a place of love. Sometimes it's a place where like, damn, they need to get this shit together. That can also be a message as well. Okay, they show you something that you need to relate to that person. It could be a warning. It could be something that they just not that they need to work on. I'll say, you know, however, whatever message they give to you. You can kind of choose how, if you want to relay it or not. It's really up to you and really how your family receives it. Okay. And when it comes to messages for the collective, I'll usually know when a message is for the collective, because it's like in that dream, I just know. Like, I'm like, I know this shit already, so why am I seeing it again? That's how I know a message is for the collective. Like, I've gotten a lot of dreams for messages for the collective. Like I talked about that dream where I had talked about the shrimp and how you can get like parasites, tapeworms if you don't devein it properly. I posted that one. I posted one about the haunted house in Michigan, Erebus. That should be, that's kind of demonic. I don't say demonic, but it's like, it got a lot of negative energies and entities in there. I posted about that to help people kind of avoid that going there for Halloween. When it comes to another dream that I have that's for the collective, is when it comes to these horror movies that you're watching, especially when it comes to a lot of things that have to deal with a lot of negative energies, a lot of negative entities, please have a strong mind, have a strong soul, have a strong spirit, because a lot of these negative energies like to feed off of people or just connect and attach to people who have weak minds. And don't have like candles or anything going. If you have an altar or whatever, that's cool, but if you like just have like candles and shit going, they can come through that. So I saw the dream like that. I probably put those in here to show you guys. But yeah, that's how you know something for you. I'm like, so I knew that shit. I don't even like to watch things like that a lot. But if you do like horror movies and things like that, I'll just say be careful, you know. Moving forward, to piggyback on messages for the collective, as you start to get more tapped in and everything, there is this saying that you will hear a lot in the spiritual community: as above, so below. So what's happening in the 5D is what's happening in the 3D. So like I was saying, a lot of what you see in the 5D, what's going on with a lot of negative shit is what's happening in the 3D. A lot of these negative energies and a lot of these negative entities be attaching to these people, and they be playing it right in our face. And you can see how they move in real life, how evil they are. So 9 times out of 10, they have something attached to them that's kind of like controlling them like a puppet. So you start to see people for who they are. You start to see the world for how it is, and you get really, really deep messages. So it's like a balance that this world has. It's a good and it's a bad. It's just honestly, the divine law. Yeah. So celebrities, political figures, even family sometimes. So friends, they'll get revealed. If they're a snake, a lot of things will just get revealed once you start tapping in. So you just really gotta pay attention to it. And everything, if something is like crazy, like what the fuck, and you wake up shook, 9 times out of 10, that shit is real. So yeah, it's been some dreams where I'm woken up and I'm like, oh my God, girl, I gotta cleanse. I gotta just have a moment where I'm just laying in bed like, what the fuck was that? And that's how I know, okay, like that's a really deep and powerful message. So yeah, and it's like you get messages for people out the blue, good and bad. So another message that you can receive is messages from ancestors, and even ancestors coming to you in your dreams, right? So you may get familiar ancestors who come to you in your dream, who just coming in to say hey, who coming in to just show you some love, who coming in to just show their face, or maybe even give you a message, right? When it comes to these familiar ancestors, you have to be, and even unknown ancestors as well, you have to really pay attention to how you feel when you are around them, right? Because sometimes it be spirits that be trying to come in and pose as somebody else. So you really have to be careful with that and really trust your intuition. When you see a known ancestor or when you see an unknown ancestor, pay attention to how you feel when you are around them. So let's say, for example, your grandma come in, your grandma, your grandfather, your uncle, whoever passed that like, let's start with known ancestors first. If a known ancestor comes to you in your dreams and you feel so comfortable, y'all just riding around in the car having a good time, y'all listening to some music, y'all sitting on the couch doing something together, and you feel an energy of love, you feel an energy of comfort, you feel an energy of peace, that is your ancestor coming in to say hi. If you feel like, something is off, that ain't them. When it comes to unknown ancestors can come to you to finally present themselves because they see that you are dedicated to the path, and they want to make their presence known so you can learn more about them and start asking questions about them, and to just say hey, so you can see them, to know that they are around you, they're supporting you, they're guiding you, they're helping you, right? When it comes to unknown ancestors, it's the same thing. How do you feel when you're around them? Do you feel calm? Do you feel cool? And so for me, for example, I had this one unknown ancestor. I didn't really know too much about them. So it was one dream where I had them, where it was just like, they had said hey to me, and my feeling, I was just like, something's not right here. Like I felt off. I felt really, really off at first. And then a couple months later, I had a dream of an unknown ancestor who came to me, and it was vibes. It was like straight vibes. I felt like so much love. I felt such comfort, and when they hugged me, I felt like when I woke up, I damn near wanted to cry. That was an unknown ancestor, and I know that was a true unknown ancestor that had came to me, So really pay attention to how you feel. So deities can also present themselves to you in your dream space as well. So pay attention to them. If you're looking into one, if you're doing research about one, or even out the blue, if you don't even know about them and they come to you in your dream space, they want to work with you. So maybe look up some symbolism around them, learn more about that deity. I always say when it comes to deities, you really need to take the dedicated time to research about them, to learn more about them. So when they come to you in your dreams to present themselves, okay, this is real. This is them saying, hey, and it's like, I'm jumping the gun here. Whoa. So just learn more about them, research about them. You may have a dream where you just, where you know about the deity and you are just with them and you going through like this whole little situation with them. Like you just fought in a battle against them. You had sitting down and just having a conversation with them, or they just gave you something or something like that. You know what I mean? They can present themselves in all types of ways. So that's a sign that they want to work with you. They're saying, hey, like, learn more about me. I want to work with you. Right. Like somebody could even be talking to you about them. Look them up if you are wanting to work with deities. So sometimes when we come in and out of sleep, we can receive clairaudience messages. So because when we are sleeping, we are getting ready to go to bed, that's when our mind is clear. That's when our mind is very, 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 very clear. What I'm trying to say. And that's when spirit really can connect with you and send you messages. You know, that's why they put, honestly, for a lot of people, they like to send messages in the 5D because they can easily get a message to you because you have a lot going on in the 3D world. But so maybe sometimes you wake up, right? You wake up and you just go into the bathroom, something, and you just hear something. That's a message. So it could be like a song, it can be a conversation that just happened from a dream. It can be just a plain old message that you probably gonna remember when you wake up, or you just need to hurry up and write it down and then go back to sleep. You know what
to do if you don't got no password to the phone.
I know damn well that is not my shit I just heard. I know damn well you not biting off my shit.
So like it be happening to me a lot where I wake up and I go to the bathroom, and then I just hear something, or I still hear things from the dream that I just woke up from that kind of still that relate to that dream still, or I hear something as I'm like turning over and I wake up a little bit, then I go right back to sleep. I hear it, and it's a message for me, or I hear music. It can be from my spirit team, or it could be from a person, you know. I talk a lot more about clairaudience in my spiritual gifts video, so if you want to watch that, it is on my channel. And this one and the last one that I'm talking about messages that you can receive, different types of messages that you can receive, it goes back to like the warnings things, about messages about people that you need to remove from your life, or it can be messages about people that are trustworthy. You know what I'm trying to say? So if you ignore messages about people that need to be removed from your life, you are going to just have to fuck around and find out and learn from that lesson. It's like you going through unnecessary shit. You feel me? Like I said, sometimes it can come in animal form, and sometimes it can just be you seeing that person and you can see them literally talking shit about you. You can see them acting shady behind your back. Like, it'd be very, very straightforward sometimes, and sometimes it just comes in animal form, and sometimes you might just feel it or see it or hear it. I've had sometimes when I dream of something and I get a warning of like, okay, somebody, it may be like I get a dream like, okay, somebody is not for you. And then as I'm drifting back to sleep, I start to see that person in my third eye. So I'm like, damn, I gotta cut them off. It can be different shit like that. So always just pay attention, okay? So next little segment, we're going to be talking about how to protect yourself while you're sleeping and how to remember your dreams. So when it comes to protection, you always need to make sure that you are protecting yourself before you go to sleep. I don't know how you do it, but it's different ways that you can. So you can always say a prayer before you go to sleep. Always say a prayer of protection over yourself, over your space, over your home, everything, over your spirit, especially in the 5D, because you don't know where your spirit can drift to, okay? It's been times where I forgot to pray before I went to bed, and I've seen the craziest shit in my life in the dream realm, okay? So always pray before you go to bed, okay? Okay, I'm saying okay a lot. But yeah, you can pray. Crystals are good as well. So black tourmaline is a great protection crystal. It protects from negative energy of all kinds, helps get rid of negative thoughts and releases anger. It cleanses the aura, enhances grounding and positive thinking. It's also good for the root chakra. And amethyst helps remember your dreams. It helps soothe headaches, helps with the better quality of sleep by calming the mind, helps connect with your higher self. It's good for your third eye and your crown chakra. It's good for meditation. It also enhances your intuition, encourages tranquility and stability, and it helps you have vivid dreams. Did I say that already? So I would recommend pairing those two together. And if you have even more crystals that you want to use, suggest you use them. I know lapis lazuli. I've used lapis lazuli before, and that's another good one. I don't really have my notebook on me right now, but I'll put some lapis lazuli properties. That's a name for your ass. I'll put some of those properties on the screen. But that's a good one as well. I've used that. It gives you really, really vivid dreams. And if you are looking to like enhance your dreams and like kind of work with your crown, your third eye chakra and your crown chakra, I just really want to put this out there. Always, please, 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 always remember your root chakra is the first one that you always need to look into. If you are not grounded, everything else is out of whack. Because if you just go straight into your third eye chakra and your crown eye chakra, that's how you can really tap into spiritual psychosis, because you're not seeing messages right. You thinking it's just like you are feeding into illusions if you are not grounded. You know what I'm trying to say? You're not interpreting shit right. You're not getting the message that you need to receive. You're not, like I just said, you're not interpreting shit right. Nah, I just be rambling. Girl, calm down. So yeah, always remember your root chakra is the first chakra that you start with. Always, 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 always remember that. You don't do any other work unless you're starting with your root first. Get into it. It's like, so for me, for example, when I first started out on my spiritual journey, I didn't even know about the chakras at first. I was just meditating every single day, like for at least like 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes every single day. You know, because I was just trying to connect with my guides and my ancestors. So I was really grounded in my energy before I even knew what the fuck how I was helping my root chakra, you know? So when they started finally started communicating to me and everything, I was able to interpret those messages. My intuition was really, really sharp because I started at my root chakra first. So I was able to really interpret those messages correctly, you know? And it's like, the more I was consistent with my meditation and my grounding, and, you know, the rest of my, you know, practice, like my journaling, my shadow work, my learning, the more intense my dreams started getting, like the more real messages I started getting. Like I started getting so much tea. The more I was showing them that I was serious and I was putting forth the effort. That's when shit got real. So now I'm gonna give y'all some herbs that are really, really good for the dream space and for your third eye and your crown as well. So I'm gonna read from my notes and everything, and you can also you can put these herbs in the dream set. So dream sets are a great way to protect yourself, and a good way to help enhance your dreams. So I'm looking at my notes. Like I said, if I did say that, I don't remember. Anywho, blue lotus is a great one. It helps with meditative properties. It helps with cleansing and connecting to your intuition. Mugwort is the second one. It enhances your dream retention and increases psychic power, and it's good for protection. Mulberry helps with dream and self-awareness as well. So yeah, you can put those in a dream sack if you want to. You can drink some teas, or however you know you want to utilize those herbs to help you for your dream space. Do that, okay? And when it comes to a dream sack, you can bless it, you can pray over it, even, you know, see what the ancestors want you to do with it. Maybe even put it on your ancestor altar to get them to bless it for you, or just, you know, enhance it with lay magic, you feel me? Or however the fuck you want to do it, you know, just consult with them. And it's like, the more you get into connecting, and then as you take the effort to like better your dream space or whatnot, or to enhance your dream space or whatnot, you may even get messages from your spirit team telling you what to do, what to grab, because they will do that for you as well. They will tell you what you need, so like the tools that you need to buy, you know, what you need to do, all of that, this, that, and the third. So really pay attention to that shit and write that shit down, because I ain't gonna say it again. Hello. So yeah. I also want to say this, when it comes to ancestors coming into your dreams and everything, always make sure that you acknowledge that, because it takes a lot of energy for them to come in and say, hey. So always make sure that you just, you know, you just showing them some love when they do come and say hi. Like, just when you wake up, be like, hey grandma, hey grandpa, hey uncle, hey cousin, hey best friend, something like that, whatever, you know? So I think that's everything. Of course, if I have more, I will put in like little slides with more information. I really hope this helped y'all. I hope I wasn't all over the place with it. I appreciate y'all. If you'd like to book a reading with me, the link is in my bio. If you have any questions, the link is in my description box, child. But if you have any questions that I can answer for you, or any comments, concerns, just leave them in the comment section or shoot me a DM or email. And I will really highly get back to you. I will get back to you. And if I can't give you a question, I will direct you to somebody who can. And if they can't help you, if I can't help you, talk to your people about it, and they will show you the way and show you the answers. Okay, talk to source about it. Okay, and you will see. So yeah, I really hope this helps y'all. Subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Anywho, I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook at NiaFSC. So follow me on there. I appreciate y'all. Love you. Besos, 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 besos. And yeah, bye. Hope this helped.